So that's my job this afternoon, to put the rationale why we are getting into these projects, big ticket projects, or sometimes we refer to them as catalytic projects. The growth nodes development was actually formulated in 1990. So it had that foresight already of the development that the city needs and the population growth as well as the economic growth that it intends to achieve. So what we had been doing since 2020 was to develop the comprehensive or to update the comprehensive land use plan as well as the comprehensive development plan of the city. And one of the major actions that we have gone into was to put the growth nodes framework into a video so that we could better explain what is it that we have in mind in terms of the physical development of Baguio. So a review of what our city is. So we are a summer capital. We are the city of pines. So that means that we were really intended to become a destination. So we were a hill station. We are an R&R site, rest and rejuvenation for the Americans. So the reason behind that is because of our unique environment. So we might be the only city in the Philippines that has a temperature 2 degrees less than the rest of the country. So these things are what serves as magnet to others. So of course, this is our home, our residence, but a lot of people would like to visit Baguio also. They want to experience our city. So we have a small land area, 5,747 hectares. And we're 1,500 meters above sea level. We attract 1.7 million tourists. That's 64% of all the visitors that come up to the Cordilleras. Let me just tell you our present numbers in terms of population. So for 2023, our projected population is 380,000 people. And that's just referring to the nighttime population, meaning the true residents of Baguio who stay here, who have their homes here. At daytime, we double in numbers because of course we know that the city is an education center. We are also an administrative center, and we also are a market as well as a trade hub for the Cordilleras. And then throughout the year, because a lot of visitors come up to Baguio to visit during holidays, we get a number that is 4 times that of 380,000. That's your 1.7 million visitors. So small land area, a lot of people within that land area. That means that we have to implement major management strategies. So we are experiencing traffic congestion, which was a 1988 problem already. And of course, one of the things that we have to come into agreement or a decision is, are we going to change our role as a destination? Much of our economy depends on services for tourism. So that means that if we close our borders because we are irritated by visitors already, our economy will suffer greatly. But there is an option. We can manage the number of people, the number of vehicles that will come up to Baguio. So that is our goal for these PPP projects already. We have the 7-point agenda. So in this administration, we were able to come up with the 7-point agenda, which serves as the roadmap for the medium-term development of the city. In no particular order, it talks about managing environment, land use and energy. We need to expand climate and disaster resilience, as well as to strengthen our urban regeneration or the health and social services given to the citizens of Baguio. We intend to empower the youth, to accelerate economic development and competitiveness, as well as to hasten our smart city transformation. And of course, all this would not be possible if not for number 7, that is good governance. And you have heard Mayor talking of good governance as the platform for development in the city. Aside from the 7-point agenda, we have the long-term goals of the city. Again, in no particular order, we need to rejuvenate our environment. Much of our carrying capacity issues are towards natural resources. We need to fix this problem. We need to provide efficient and effective infrastructure support facilities and utilities, and that's actually the topic of this afternoon's summit. We are prioritizing health and well-being. We have experienced the impact of the pandemic, and we are enhancing disaster resilience because we are high risk in terms of hazards. We need to maintain peace and order, as well as to attain a higher level of cultural and social development. We are a creative city. All these 6 are the elements of attaining the last goal, and that is to achieve faster economic growth. If we do not have all these 6 elements, we cannot expect good growth in terms of our economy. Just to show you how much have we been spending in terms of infrastructure projects. From 2019 to 2022, we have 2.7 billion pesos allotted for infrastructure projects ranging from environment to urban mobility. That's a lot larger than the budget of Baguio. So yearly, we have an average of 150 million. We call it the 20% development fund that's allotted specific to infrastructure development. So compare that to 2.7 billion pesos, that means that where do we get the rest of the money? From 2019 to 2022, this came from grants from the national government and from private organizations and corporations. So that means that we have to look for other ways of implementing catalytic projects, catalytic infrastructure projects, and that is by way of public-private partnerships. We are now currently developing the analytics of how and where do all these catalytic projects point to when it comes to the 7-point agenda, as well as the attainment of the 17 Sustainable Development Goals. We still have to develop a methodology to know what is the impact on the lives of the people once we finish and we start operating these infrastructure projects. But just to show you the investments that have been put into our city from 2020 to 2021, may I refer you to the lowest part of the graph, where we are in red. What this means is that we did not invest enough on transportation, hence the problem on transportation. So for this afternoon, you will hear about a project on promoting active mobility that would be Session Road. This is not a PPP project, by the way. It will be locally funded. You will also get to hear about green transport as well as transport-oriented development. There is a proposal for the hydropower development and our public market redevelopment. And last, you will get to see a video, that video which we have prepared in 2021, which shows how the growth node development will happen in the city. But basically, the model is we will decongest the central business district because that is the heritage part of the city. And we will develop economic nodes throughout the city, 6 of them, and this will be transport-oriented. That means that we will be fixing transportation and mobility and moving economic activities towards these 6 growth nodes of the city. The video you will see is not final, it's not written in stone. We are actually updating it because as partners come in and as we polish the plans of the city, we will also update the video. The video, please.